The Royal Navy in 2020 has just 13 Type 23 frigate and 6 Type 45 destroyers to patrol British waters, conduct independent patrols and escort amphibious ships and the 2 new aircraft carriers. This number is considered too small, according to several independent assessments. Surprisingly, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson on 2022 mentioned a frigate class that no one had heard of, the Type 32.
We're going to develop the next generation of warships, including the multi-role research vessels and Type 32 frigates, and this will spur a renaissance.
There was widespread confusion in naval circles following Prime Minister's speech. The Royal Navy takes years to develop a new ship class. The Type 32 appeared suddenly and without the usual years-long process of announcing and refining requirements. So, what exactly is a Type 32? And when will this new ship be built? The breed of warship will be the 3rd new frigate being introduced into the fleet, with the first expected to hit the water towards the end of the decade or in the early 2030s. It will follow the 8 Type 26 and 5 Type 31 frigates, which has currently been built by the government. The Prime Minister Boris Johnson committed to the Type 32 and said the increased funding and warship numbers would restore Britain's position as the foremost naval power in Europe.
Defence spending to restore Britain's position as the foremost naval power in Europe.
The Royal Navy has said the Type 32 will be a general-purpose frigate, much like the Type 31 that is in production. It will be flexible, including a modular design and incredibly advanced systems and weaponry. Importantly, it will rely on autonomous systems and warfare. Type 32s will exist to fulfill a more specialist role than Type 31s. It will support the support frigates by protecting territorial waters and serving as part of the UK's littoral response group. Projected to be available by the decade's end, the Type 32 frigates would offer multi-role capabilities and act as platforms for unmanned systems, enhancing submarine and mine countermeasures operations. A different report described it as the drone mothership. As autonomous warfare shapes up to be the next big thing, and the 13 Hunt and Sandown-class minehunters currently in service are in need of replacement, it makes sense that the Royal Navy would begin integrating it into frigates. The Type 32 frigate will be a support and defense ship capable of utilizing the latest advances in sensor technology and weapons systems. This is why it will feature a modular design, one of the first things announced about the new frigate class. It will enable technology to be swapped out as new versions enter circulation, meaning Type 32s will stay at the forefront of technology. This technology is very useful to switch role depending on the nature of the threat, and will also improve the frigate's lifespan and reduce the rate of refits and upgrades. The production will likely happen in Scotland. Babcock and BAE Systems are working on Type 31s and 26s in their Rosyth and Glasgow shipyards, respectively. These yards would then go on to build Type 32s because current information indicates they will be fairly similar in construction and design to the Type 31s. The Type 32, we hope, will come further along from the Type 31, the UK Defence Secretary Ben Wallace told the UK House of Commons Defence Committee. The Type 32 program's early concept phase is underway, focused on developing the operational concept. The program and procurement strategy, including competition timelines, will be determined following the concept phase. The aim is for the Type 32s to be built in a UK shipyard, with yard selection to follow a commercial competition. As part of its operational concept, the Type 32 is also central in Royal Navy medium-term plans to grow its surface fleet. While class size is unconfirmed, the program is seen as a first step in increasing Royal Navy surface ship numbers. Then UK First Sea Lord and Chief of the Naval Staff Admiral Sir Tony Ratican said the Type 32 program would see UK destroyer and frigate numbers rise from 19 to 24 ships. He noted the Type 32 will be a general-purpose frigate, rather than a specialized anti-submarine or anti-air warfare platform. He added that the concept phase would help the Royal Navy better understand to what extent Type 32 would build directly on Type 31 frigate, or would be designed to embrace new technologies like autonomy and support wider littoral operations requirements.
Grow from 19 frigates and destroyers now to up to 24 in the early 2030s, with the new Type 32 class, in addition to the new Type 26 and 31
The
classes.
latest refresh of the UK's National Shipbuilding Strategy published in March 2022 stated that up to 5 Type 32s would be procured, entering service from the early 2030s. The frigates would extend the Royal Navy's forward presence around the world with a focus on hosting and operating autonomous offboard systems that add mass and a cost of complexity upon UK adversaries. Such autonomous capability would be added in a modular manner, supporting platform flexibility and adaptability to underpin Royal Navy efforts to harness emerging technology and offset evolving threats. If several navies, including the US Navy, believe that it will be possible to implement large, fully robotic ships alongside their destroyers, frigates, and aircraft carriers by 2035, it should be possible to have a frigate's crew by the same date using the same technologies. This is most likely the starting point for the engineers at the British Babcock shipyards, who are currently building the Type 26 frigates of the City class and the future Type 31 frigates, which will replace the Type 23 anti-submarine warfare frigate. In fact, in an interview with The Telegraph, John Howie, Babcock's Director of Internal Affairs, stated that his group now aim to return the crew of the Type 32 frigate, an evolution of the Type 31 frigate from which it would inherit many characteristics, to only around 50 sailors, as opposed to 105 for the Type 31 and 185 for the Type 23 that they will replace. To accomplish this, Babcock plans to rely on new technologies developed in recent years. Without being precise, we can easily imagine that we are discussing advancements in automation and robotics, as well as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and presence. To accomplish this, use a virtual environment. These are, in fact, the technologies at the heart of the revolution, allowing for the design and implementation of a fleet of large autonomous ships intended to evolve in support of large surface combatant units, as well as crewed submarines.